Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you wherever and whenever you are joining us. Welcome to our latest edition of What Caught My Eye, or WCME Sports. As always, I'm your host, the coach Nick Vesci, joined by the boy Stephen Vesci.
What up?
And the man Stephen Comlow.
Good evening, everybody.
Thank you. For those keeping track, the time is 8:51 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday, April 21st, 2026. Just a reminder to follow us on all of our social media. That's on X, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, Snapchat, and Threads at WCME_sports. Our episodes drop every Wednesday at noon on Spotify, YouTube, and iHeartRadio. And all that information can be found on our website, WCMEsports.com. Now, without further ado, we get into our top catch for the evening, and this week we went with the playoffs. Playoffs for the NHL and the NBA. We get lucky this time of year. We get two of the four major North American sports leagues have their playoffs going on succinctly. So, just going to start off with the NHL playoffs, because really the NBA playoffs, and you don't have as much, because there's not as much parity, because not every team really is trying to win at all times, right? So sometimes the first round matchups in the NBA lack some luster, especially those, 1-8, 2-7, 3-6 matchups sometimes. So we're going to start with the NHL playoffs. I'm going to go first with the Hurricanes. They lead the Ottawa Senators 2-0. In game one, I don't know if you realize this, it featured the first ever fight between each team's captains in NHL playoff history, when Brady Tkachuk and Jordan Staal dropped the gloves off the opening faceoff. Which
I love that.
Incredible.
That was the opening face-off of the entire NHL.
Yes.
Like Stanley Cup playoff. That was beautiful. Set the tone.
Yes. But I thought that's incredible that it's never happened before. But yeah, I guess normally in the playoffs, if you're the captain, you're making sure you're staying on the ice, or you're doing something to stick up for your team, and that would normally involve you having fisticuffs with a goon of the other team, not necessarily the captain. So that was probably the only way it was going to happen, was off the opening face-off, but that was kind of cool to me. But game two really was the story here. Game two ended in double overtime on Jordan Martinook's game winner from the slot. Now, Martinook had a chance, and I know you watched this, Colin. I don't know if you saw this, boy. Crazy sequence in the first overtime. Martinook had a chance to end things earlier in the first OT after he was awarded a penalty shot. But he was awarded the penalty shot after they disallowed the game-winning goal following replay by ruling that the play entered the offensive zone offside. So what's interesting is that they award the penalty shot even though the pass that they made happened when the whistle should have blown the play dead.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So they entered the zone offside. Jordan Staal entered the zone offside. So he passes it to Martinook, who is behind the D, goes to make a move, clearly gets slashed. They were going to call a penalty on it anyway. But they ruled the entry to the zone offside. So you would think that the penalty and all that would be moot because it shouldn't have happened, but that's not how the rule is written, and no one was complaining.
The clock gets reset too, so it's like the penalty occurred in a different space-time continuum.
Yes,
because
the multiverse
doesn't exist anymore.
Exactly. But it's like a weird, like you would say, argue each side, right? Because you could say, well, it shouldn't count because the penalty happened afterwards. But it also, you committed a penalty. You chose to use your stick improperly and could have done something that was injurious. So, it's one of those double-edged swords. A very, very odd sequence. But then Martinook went and took the penalty shot. Linus Holmer stoned him on the shot. So no goal. Keep playing. And then we get to that double overtime. And I felt like it was very apropos that Martinook was the one who ended things after that.
Yeah. I mean, it just felt like Carolina was built to win that game in double overtime because, you could see, granted, you have icings and things like that mess up with your rotation and your line shifts and the timing of all of it. But on those, last two sequences for Carolina, it looked like the Senators were just skating in cement.
Yes.
Yeah, they looked just wiped out. I think when you go and watch the sequence of passes that leads to Martinook shooting in the slot, I think you see one Senators defender move his skates, actually pump his skates through the whole three passes that lead up to the shot. It was insane.
Yeah, you're right, Kamala. I was thinking the same thing watching it. I actually thought both teams looked pretty gassed, but that was a spurt of energy out of Carolina that Ottawa didn't have. I mean, Ottawa needed that game. It feels like they needed that game. Carolina, number one overall seed in the Eastern Conference, right? You're playing the team that's been the most consistent, best all year. You had a chance to steal one on the road because Olmark played phenomenal. But on the other end of the ice, Freddie Anderson for Carolina was equally as phenomenal, especially down the stretch in the end of that game. So that was a fun game. That was exciting. Yeah. Elsewhere in the Eastern Conference, Buffalo leads Boston 1-0. They're 1-0. They're playing right now in Buffalo. But in game one, the Sabres were down 2-0 about a minute into the third, but they rattled off 4 straight goals late in the period, including Matthias Samuelsson's game winner with 3:24 left in the contest to take that first game 4-3, which is, again, incredible. The whole, like,
yeah, I thought the roof was going to come off of that place.
Yeah.
Holy
shit.
shit.
Have to get a new stadium.
You could feel it through the TV.
Yes,
like I'm
so
watching
loud.
Yeah, I'm watching that series. That's the one I'm like focused on.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, because like Buffalo's been so bad for so long, I don't really think you could say that they have rivals necessarily, right? Because they've, for the longest time, they've just kind of been like, it's almost like, oh, that's your bye week. So I think like Buffalo has a very decent chance of being the people's favorite. Like I'll tell you straight up, I want Buffalo to. I think that would be so special and so cool to watch.
It would be, but
I do think Carolina's built for it right now.
Wouldn't you feel a little like if the Sabres were to win the whole thing? Wouldn't you kind of feel a little sick for the Bills because they got all like the success? Because the Sabres really have not been that good for most of our lives, right? You had the spurt with Hasek there where they lost to Brett Hull and the Stars and Mike Modano in the finals, and then after Hasek left, you had Ryan Miller, but they really weren't that good. And then after Miller left,
changed their jerseys.
Yep, they changed their jerseys. They had Miller, but they really weren't at
Miller
times.
was the only one on that team worth watching.
And then after he left, they've been complete garbage for an entire generation.
20 years.
Yeah, like 15 or so years, they've been complete garbage. So, if they were, they've looked great in the regular season, right? So if you took the whole jersey off, you know the name on it, you'd say this team is a legitimate championship contender. But if they were to win, I feel my first thought would be like, well, one, good for you, Buffalo. But two, my God, what do the Bills have to do?
I was thinking about that during game one was
suffered.
Like that would be just peak Buffalo if the Sabres get a ship before the Bills. That would be so fucking funny.
Because the Bills are obviously the number one in that city. And in that Western New York region.
And they couldn't get it done with the Chiefs being out of the playoffs this past year. And so, that was their chance, right?
Go back to the Jim Kelly.
Four straight
Super
Bowls.
No other teams ever made it to four straight.
All you need is one.
Yeah.
And then you're right, Kamala, that you go through that, and then this year you have,
your excuses,
you lose to Bo Nix and the
modern
Broncos.
Excuse is gone because that's been the AFC excuse. Really has been like, oh well, we have to go through Mahomes and Kelsey and Andy Reid. Like the Ravens could say that, the Bengals could say it, the Bills could say it, but this year that excuse wasn't there, and because of it, look how many teams switched up entirely. Right, Harbaugh's gone. Buffalo's going through some huge changes as well.
They got rid of McDermott.
McDermott's gone.
Tomlin's gone. Yeah, but
y'all ain't got it. Y'all don't have an excuse this year. So if the Sabres get one before the Bills, my God, that's peak Buffalo.
It is, but it's like you have to be happy for Buffalo for it. But you
the
also
city deserves a championship.
Yes, they do.
100%.
Elsewhere in the East as well, my pick to win that I said earlier, the Montreal Canadiens, they lead Tampa Bay 1-0.
It's an insane pick.
Juraj Slavkovsky, who's a stud, by the way. He almost single-handedly led Slovakia to where they went in the Olympics. But he recorded his first career playoff hat trick, scoring the last 3 goals for the Habs, including the game winner on the power play 122 into the extra session as Montreal took game 1 on the road. Again, they lead Tampa 1-0. Do they play tonight or tomorrow?
Yeah, they're playing right
now. Again, to round out the East, in the Battle of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the Flyers took both games in Pittsburgh, which I got to say didn't see that coming, to give a 2-0 series lead going back to Philadelphia now. No, again, to me, right, you talk about championship pedigree, right? And I know like Crosby and Malkin and Letang and them are not at their prime, but they're still all Hall of Famers and they still have that championship pedigree. So like playing 2 home games, and especially with them knowing it, and especially with the Flyers who really, they haven't been very good the last several years. So you would think that you would pick, or the common sense would say, Pittsburgh's going to take these 2 games, and then we'll see what happens in Philly. But Philly, especially last night,
I had Philly
dominated
winning
them.
it. I didn't have Philly taking both home games. I had Philly in a gentleman's sweep just because things feel a lot different up there. I mean, we went out Griswold and I talked last year where they had to go through kind of a identity crisis. They got rid of Torts because he just wasn't a good fit for them. And then they kind of like reworked some things with new management, new leadership, and I thought they've looked pretty decent. And so I mean, I took age into consideration because that Pittsburgh team is old as fuck.
Yeah. Yes, they are. Is that the 6 toll road series?
Yeah.
That runs straight from
The
Philly to
Turnpike,
Pittsburgh?
the
Turnpike. Turnpike.
Is that the Turnpike, or is that a separate road? Isn't the Turnpike a specific?
76 runs from Philly to Pittsburgh, pretty much.
How many states have 2 cities?
Not all of them.
Are we constantly going in and out of Pittsburgh throughout the day? No.
What is this man talking about?
Yeah, I mean, it's a chance to watch Crosby kind of, make I don't think it's his farewell tour necessarily, but I mean, like, I wouldn't expect to see him back in the playoffs just given the state of that team right now.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
enjoy Crosby in the postseason one more time.
Yep. Tell you what, the yellow jerseys look good though.
Oh, I was about to say I just like them. I was just about to say
I don't like the French yellow mustard jerseys. We got to go black and gold, man.
Yes,
you got to go black and gold.
Yes,
I like the.
And what if you're gonna make the gold jersey? Your helmet has to be black. That's too much. Mm-hmm. No, I don't like that. I was just about to bring it up before you said
too
it.
much.
No.
It's like Ricky Fowler back when he wore orange. Ricky Fowler orange was too much.
You don't like the banana
Pittsburgh
suits?
jerseys are too much, man. It's a mixture of just like lemonade and limoncello.
The banana suits.
Man. Yeah, pretty much. They're playing banana ball out there.
Now, moving on to the Western Conference, Edmonton, they lead Anaheim 1-0. Talk about, right, you brought up the Josh Allen, they're the Bills, whatever. Oh, we didn't have to go through Mahomes. Mm-hmm. The Oilers don't have to deal with the Panthers this year. So
no, they do not.
We'll see how that goes.
You can breathe a little easier.
They're up 1-0 over Anaheim. In Game 1, they surrendered 3 straight goals in the second period, but the Oilers scored twice in the third, including Kasperi Kapanen's game winner, with less than 2 minutes left for the 4-3 victory. The Avalanche, who had the best record in the NHL at most points, they're up 1-0 over the Kings. The Golden Knights are up 1-0 over the Utah Mammoth, making their first playoff debut as the Mammoth.
Did you see my boy Nick Dowd at the end of that last game? Oh my God, Nick Dowd!
Take someone out?
No, he goes fucking crazy. Hold on, let me see. I don't remember who he was yelling at. Logan Cooley. He looked at Logan Cooley on his way back onto the ice and yelled at him. He's like, "I'm gonna fucking kill you!" And they got this camera's just right in there on his face.
That's a threat. Get God. Jackie Childs down here. That's a threat. It's egregious, brilliant. Outrageous, preposterous.
Yeah. Hold on, real quick. I think I'm gonna mute it so we don't really have to worry about a whole lot. Maybe I'll look at rules and laws here in a minute, but. With the blood all over his jersey, he points at him and says, this is after the game too. He said, "I'm gonna fucking kill you."
After you win, yeah. Hockey.
Animal.
Yes.
Animal.
And then the last series is Stars and Wild. The Wild took it to the Stars. I think it was 6-1. Is it 7-1? Mm-hmm. Something like that. They smashed them Game 1, but in Game 2, Dallas were able to come back and win. So that series is knotted up at a game apiece. On the other flip side, the other indoor sport, the NBA, National Basketball Association, we're going to start in the East as well here. The Knicks and the Hawks are tied at a game apiece. But really, that Game 2, the Knicks should be up 2-0. So in Game 2, New York surrendered a 12-point lead entering the fourth quarter, while the Knicks only scored 15 points in that final stanza. And Atlanta's CJ McCollum from
Lehigh.
Yes, sir. He turned back the clock a little bit here, scored a game-high 32 points as Atlanta shocked New York to tie that series. Here's the stat for you. Since 1954-55, the Knicks had been 40-1 in the playoffs when leading by 12 or more after 3 quarters. Do you know what the one loss was before the other night?
Michael Jordan.
No, the infamous Reggie Miller choke
So
game in the 1994 Eastern Conference Finals where Cheryl Miller's little brother had 25 points in the fourth quarter.
I didn't know Cheryl Miller's little brother played basketball.
So me, Reggie, and Spike went to strip club.
Felt bad about the whole situation. Went out on the court and threw a hot dog at Reggie Miller. Involved.
Yes, staying in the Eastern Conference, Orlando is up 1-0 over Detroit. The 8-seed Magic stole game 1 over the top-seeded Pistons, 112 to 101 behind Paolo Banchero's 23 points and 9 boards. Cleveland looks like they might just sweep Toronto. They're up 2-0 over the Raptors. Boston blew out Philly in game 1 for a 1-0 lead. I could see that series being a sweep as well.
Have you listened to anything Missoula has been saying? Dude, his sound bites are the
He's an
fucking
animal.
best.
Absolute animal.
Absolute animal. Just a complete psychopath, but the perfect psychopath to be like a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
And to be able to do what he's doing in the NBA when everyone's making, way more money than him, and to be able to like control and command like the culture of his team, I think is so impressive.
Mm-hmm.
But he was talking with Julian Edelman, and he was saying like how he's obsessed with the dark side of winning and all the stuff that goes into it, and like how the best teams that like grind and are fundamentally sound and the work put into it is like all the shit that goes into winning. He's like, I'm obsessed with it.
He was on Edelnut's podcast. I haven't seen
Yeah.
that. Oh, I'll have to give that a listen. I bet that's just gold.
I know.
Edelman's
That's
awesome.
like
That
I've seen
podcast
that
is
clip
so
like
good.
6 times, and I'm like, oh, it's so good.
Shout out Jules.
Yeah, but every time Missoula talks, like, because they've asked him about like coach of the year stuff, he's like, I don't care about that. Like the players do all this, and then he's like, what? Well, he's like, that's a stupid award. He's like, well, what if you did organization or staff of the year? He goes, like, yeah, we have a great staff here, but none of these guys made a shot. None of them pulled in a rebound. None of them ran back on defense. He goes, it doesn't matter what we do. He's like, all these guys play hard, they do their job and everything. I was like, this guy is such a great coach. From
because
West Virginia, by the way.
Virginia. Because what you're saying too, right? We talk about player empowerment and like the players having more power and say over kind of what happens, and not necessarily being equal partners, but not being treated lower than like the shield and stuff. But at the end of the day, what he's saying, that's true player empowerment. That's really what we're after, is that the players, like you said, have the ultimate final say. They're the ones who drive things. They drive what happens on and off of the court. And so if you're going to empower your players to showcase that work ethic and do these little things, that's going to, like you said, those are the little things that cause you to win and win championships, not just win games, right? So that's almost where we've gone a lot of ways too far, as we say, we want the players to have more power, more say in what happens, like, and all this stuff. But, there still has to be a culture behind it. If there's no culture behind it, then people are just going to do whatever the hell they want. Like, we're animals. Humans are animals. We're going to take advantage of things. You give an inch, people take a mile. But if you can, like you said, build culture. And now culture has to come from the organization. The organization can, put a stop to all of these things that we see that are discouraging for us, where it's like lack of effort, lack of wanting to play, lack of, getting back on defense, like a simple little thing, right? The organization can put a stop to it. But oftentimes the organization does not want to. Let's just look at the Wizards, for example. 17 wins. They won 17 games this year. They didn't even win 20 goddamn. One hit. All we got was one goddamn hit. Literally, they didn't even score or didn't even win 20 games, right? So it's not even that we're trying to not be competitive. We're just whatever, right? There's no culture there. So you're right. To have a culture set up where the players are empowered to give the effort and to do these things because they're the ones in control of winning, that's a big thing. Like that is something that doesn't happen overnight, i.e. Dan Campbell in Detroit. Detroit's culture before he got there was the Wizards, right? They're the Wizards of the NFL. And he came in and it didn't happen overnight, right? They went through some stretch of his first season.
They won like 2 games or something?
They started like 1-9 or something like that. Yeah. Right. And people are like, oh, this is all just talk and stuff, but it's not, right? If you're able to have the buy-in, and the buy-in has to come from the front office and the owner and the team and all that stuff, right? Because if they don't buy in, if you don't have support from them, everything you say as a coach is meaningless, right? At that point, then all rules, those are just suggestions, right? Rules without consequences are suggestions. So to enable your staff and your team to have that culture and to get the right players in place, that's a whole, I mean, it's organizational. It is, right? And that's where I think some criticism that we, load onto coaches, regardless of sport, is unfair because there's only so much that they can do. And we've talked about before too with like quarterbacks, right? And Tom has talked about it, right? Oh, this kid comes in and, oh, he's so great, high draft pick. Why isn't he succeeding? Well, you don't rank coaches, you rank quarterbacks, right? So what if this kid goes to the 31st best quarterback coach, right? It's the same kind of thing organizationally, right? Head coach goes to the 30th best organization. The guy's not going to win, right? Unless there's any backing, unless the organization says we're going to turn things over to you, you can build the culture and we'll support you. If that doesn't happen and the organization continues to do the same stuff they do, a la the Browns, you're still going to suck, right? It doesn't happen that way. So you're right.
I mean, I can always count on the Boston Celtics playing harder than any other team.
Well, again,
right?
You brought up Brad Stevens a few weeks ago, right? That's a guy who's up there in their front office,
right?
So who's a winner, a guy who finds out how to win. And so if you're committed to winning,
well, it was funny because like Tatum, like they knew Tatum was going to be out for basically the entire year, right? Yes, yeah. And a lot of like, I guess even Celtics fans or a lot of NBA people were like, well, this might just be a year you kind of throw away or whatever, reload and kind of figure something else out. Like, no, like. You think Joe Mazzulla is going to just like let them quit for a year and then be like, oh, we'll come back next year? Like, absolutely not. They finished second with winning, I think, 52 games in the regular season. And I think Tatum played the last like 10 or 15, something around there. So like that, you can always count on that team playing harder and look at the like lists of their, like the roster and the guys that are playing. You're like, I remember these guys from college, but when you get to that, 1%ers or the 0.1% that gets the NBA or whatever it is, all these guys are unbelievably good.
Yes.
And you play harder than every other team, you're going to have success.
Yeah, like Peyton Pritchard from
Oregon.
And Sam Hauser from
UVA.
Thank you.
And Michigan State.
No, right? Marquette.
Because he missed Marquette.
His brother, they were both at Marquette. His brother transferred to Michigan State. He came to UVA.
That's what it was.
They were contemplating whether or not they wanted to play with each other. So I think they both could have gone to the same place, but they chose to go separate. Yes. For Western Conference, I think this is the best opening series of all of them. Minnesota and Denver, the Wolves and the Nuggets, they're tied a game apiece. In game one, Jokic had a ho-hum 25-point triple-double, and Jamal Murray had 30 points as the Nugs won that game. But Minnesota erased an early double-digit deficit in game two to even the series at 1 apiece behind Ant-Man's, that's Anthony Edwards, by the way, 30 points and 10 boards Monday night. So that series, if there's any series I think that's going to go 7 games, it would be that one. The Lakers, they're up 1-0 over the Rockets, who I believe when I was watching that, there's no Kevin Durant on the floor. So good luck there, Houston, if you're going to try to beat them. The Spurs behind Wembanyama, they're up 1-0 over the Blazers. That could easily, in my opinion, be just a straight sweep.
Well, did you get the alert? I guess Wemby is entering concussion protocol.
Great. Well, then that can't be a sweep.
Yeah,
we'll rewind the clock. This will be the 90s. There's no such thing as concussion.
It's unwatchable now. If Wembanyama's not on the floor, it's not watchable.
I agree with that.
Stephon Castle's been lighting things up for San Antonio, but
because he plays hard. He's a UConn guy.
Yes, Danny Hurley would not allow you to. And then the top-seeded Thunder, who I believe had the best record in the NBA, and they're the defending champs, they're up 1-0 over the Suns. That game, that could also turn out to be a sweep as well, because I think they blew the Suns out in that game. Now, if you wanted more in-depth insight about the NBA playoffs, especially the start of it, we strongly encourage you to check out the great Doug Howard's preview show that is on our YouTube, Spotify, and iHeart pages. You can also find the link on our website under our basketball tab. But the great Doug Howard just dropped an incredible preview show. Go ahead, check that out. The link to that's in our bio on our Instagram in case you wanted to look at it. But the great Doug Howard, trainer to the stars, former College of William & Mary basketball player. Go check it out. He has forgotten more about basketball than we know. So if you wanted to learn about everything that you'll ever want to know about the NBA playoffs coming up here, please tune into that. Again, it's on our YouTube, Spotify, and iHeartRadio pages. Now, moving on to our 3 strikes. Kamlo, hit the button.
Hit the button. That's one.
Who wants to go first?
That's one.
I'll go first.
All right,
I'll go first. So last week on Thursday the 16th, Thursday the 16th, I took a trip to go see a matinee game at PNC Park in Pittsburgh. Oh my God. First time ever being there. First off, for those of you in the Central Virginia region, easy drive. Very easy drive to get there. It took me less than 5 hours, and we left at like 5:30 in the morning. We got up to Pittsburgh with just enough time to kind of do a little, like, to walk across the bridge, and like we spent like probably an hour just walking around the ballpark and looking at everything. I mean, this was just, it's Pittsburgh. I don't really know a whole lot. I know about Permane Bros, and I know every team is black and yellow, Wiz Khalifa, whatever. So to be honest, I wasn't really expecting a whole lot. Blown away. I was absolutely blown away by this ballpark. This ballpark is beautiful. We were sitting behind home plate underneath the awning of like the club level seats. And it was just a perfect day for a game. I mean, slight breeze, the wind was swirling around the field, zero humidity, but man, everything about the ballpark is done super, super intentionally. They have like a little kids area in the outfield that's shaped like pirate sails that the kids can climb up and down. The outfield concourse is lined with light, like huge bobbleheads, and the heads actually bobble of what are they called? The fat boys, I think, which is a local brewery that supplies a lot of beer for the ballpark. They even have their own named bar in the outfield, so that was kind of cool. I got to try some of the Yinzer's ale, I believe was what I tried, or the Yinzer's
nice.
lager.
You have an icy light?
No, I did not.
Oh, you didn't have any Iron City?
No, I had a Yinzer's lager, so that was kind of cool. But while I'm talking, I'm just going to click through some pictures that I took. This was from our...
Wait a second. Are you about to do an old person, bring out the projector slideshow? Let me talk to you about our trip to Antigua.
Pretty much. So I mean, it was beautiful. This is the view that you have walking over the Allegheny River.
That's Sean Doolittle jersey.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's my buddy. Oaks. Shout out Robert Oaks.
Sean Doolittle from
he was
UVA.
wearing a Doolittle jersey. I believe Doolittle is actually a pitching coach for the Nats now.
Yeah.
So that was cool. We saw him. That dude also, by the way, you would have never known because he wore sleeves under his jersey every time he played. Doolittle's fucking yoked.
And
he is a yoked, tatted monster. That guy's huge.
He's an interesting cat.
I heard he's an asshole.
He's like an hipster kind of dude. Like he is an avid reader. And again, that doesn't make you a hipster, but like he's all into like let's go like.
I'm pretty sure that's him right there.
Little bookshops, independently owned little bookshops, buy books. Like he's like,
right,
I really think about him as obviously a nerd because he went to UVA, but just an interesting cat.
So something else that was really interesting was another reason we wanted to get there so early and walk around was because it was $1 hot dog day. Shout out Permane Bros. Had to get a picture of the Permane Bros menu. Incredible sandwiches. Incredible
gabagool with cheese.
Yeah.
Pastrami with
Permane.
You know what their number one bestseller? You know what the number one bestseller is at Permane Bros?
Pastrami.
No, it's their fries.
Yeah.
Oh, why? Because they put it on all their sandwiches.
Correct. So like it will say, I think the Pittsburgher might be the number 2 bestseller or something. It will say that like the number 2 bestseller is like, what the hell is number 1 then? I don't see number 1. It's their fries.
That tracks. Anyway, so we wanted to get there early because again, my buddy Oaks, he goes to a lot of Nats games, and he was saying, it's $1 dog day. We should get there and like a genius scout out where they're selling the $1 hot dogs, because I guess at Nats Park there's only 1 or 2 vendors or 2 or 3 vendors that actually participates. Well, not here, not in the great city of Pittsburgh. All concession stands advertised $1 hot dogs provided by Sugar Dales. Shout out Sugar Dales. Not an ad, wish it was. The hot dogs were incredible.
That's the difference between DC bullshit and Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I didn't have to take out a small loan to buy a round of drinks for the 4 of us. This was incredible. So this was the view from our seat.
Beautiful.
This was the view from our seat. I mean, insane view. I mean, it's this. You got the skyline, the yellow bridge. You got the scoreboard was really good too. And let me tell you, some of the videos and video effects and sound bites that they had, top tier.
By the way, Kamala, while you were there, this is another nerd thing. Did you learn how tall the right field fence is?
No.
Because that's a big thing that they go. It's 21 feet because Roberto Clemente was number 21.
Oh, okay. Dude, Roberto Clemente is plastered.
He should be. He is
everywhere.
He's
everywhere.
He
not a lot of big
names transcends so
Pittsburgh.
Many things.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was kind of cool. Oh, the good factoid, Nick. The game itself was really, really good. We got to see a pretty good pitching matchup with Forrest Griffin shoving for the Nats and Braxton Ashcraft pushing for the Pirates. And both pitchers coming into the game, I believe had a sub-2 ERA and around like a 1.1 whip. So I knew we were going to see a pitching battle. And for the first 4 innings,
there's the icy light thing, by the way.
Yeah.
The outfield wall.
For the first 4 innings, we did have a really good pitching battle. And then both teams exploded for 4 runs in the 5th inning, I believe, where Marcell Ozuna comes up and ties the game with a 3-run shot. Look, oh yeah, Fatheads, that's what it's called. There's the Fatheads bar that we went to because we came in the outfield. So that was kind of cool. Also,
man, that picture is incredible.
Yeah, it's a really good picture. Shout out Google Pixel. If it's not a Google Pixel, I don't know what you're doing.
Oh my God.
They're also, I mean, I'm sure we all know they are sponsored by Sheets.
I laugh at this. Icy light and Sheets, the two of the biggest ads on the wall.
I don't know if I grabbed a picture of it. I'll have to see if Oaks did. Oh, this was a cool video I got. I wanted to, because we were in a good spot, I wanted to see if I could get like a video of like the movement that the pitchers had on the ball. But so something cool that Sheets was doing or does for the Pittsburgh Pirates is they have like a ticker in the outfield, and it totals the number of home runs that the Pirates have hit in PNC Park. And for every home run, the ticker goes up. This was Connor Griffin's at bat. I wanted to watch this. He strikes out, I think.
That was a breaking ball there, yeah.
But yeah, so the counter goes up for every home run. Well, for every home run they hit, they donate $100 towards a charity fund, and at the end of the season, they'll decide what charity they allocate all that money to, which is kind of cool. But yeah, shout out Sheets. Love Sheets. I'm a big advocate for the Sheets.
Best gas station in the world.
Yeah, love the Pirates hedges over the batter's eye. It's awesome. Oh. This obviously has nothing to do with the Pirates, but this is really funny. We'll go ahead and stop sharing that. But yeah, so it was a really, really good game. There was not a bad seat in the house. And we got to see everything, right? We got to see a home run by the home team. We got to see an extra inning game, so that was cool. We got to try all the food. I mean, they also lean very heavy into the pierogies from Mrs. T's. They sell pierogies at a couple different spots. And I also might just be behind the times, but something cool that they had at some of the concession stands, it was like self-checkout pretty much. They have someone monitoring the door to make sure you don't steal, but instead of having someone sit there and press a bunch of buttons and ring it up, what you do is you get your items. So if you have 2 Miller Lights, a thing of pierogies, and $1 hot dog, you put it on this scale, and then all of a sudden on the screen in front of you, itemized exactly what you have, and then it's tap, pay, you're on your way.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it was super efficient. Yeah, really fucking cool. but it was really, really fun. And I wanted to talk about my hat. So I told Stevie about this already, Nick, but something that I'm sure other teams are doing this as well, but we went into one of the team stores and they had a bunch of like paper bags, like sealed up on the shelf. And so I asked the guy, what's up with these paper bags? He said the ones on the top shelves are hats, the ones on the bottom shelves are baseballs. Essentially what the hats are is it's a surplus of team issued merch from previous seasons that didn't get used. And we put them in mystery. We like organize them by size. Thank God they had my size. We organize them by size, and then
don't give you a sweater when you're cold at a party.
Charge you like $35, and then you get to see what you get. And so this is the hat I got. Obviously very retro Pittsburgh Pirates, but it has the National Baseball Hall of Fame stamp on it, and then it also has the Cooperstown official on-field cap tag on the inside, so that was cool. And then I bought a baseball, and the baseballs were either strikeouts, foul balls, pop flies, ground outs, or anything less than a home run of a hit. And I got a second pitch line out by Nick Castellanos to Brandon Lau. So that was kind of cool because they have like the hologram code that you can type into MLB.com and it'll tell you exactly what like the sequence of pitches was and everything leading up to whatever the outcome was for that baseball. So that was pretty cool.
So I was going to, so your hat, right? So you're telling me that this was something they issued to the players of the Pirates?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this was like, so like if like let's say like, if I'm Braxton Ashcraft, like, and I sweat through my fucking hat, I need a new hat now. So they would just go into storage and here's your next hat, Braxton. And so these hats that they had in the bags were all hats that didn't get used that year by the team.
Would you rather have that or the sweated through one?
I'm sure the sweated through one probably went for a lot more money than $35.
It depends.
That, and I think Braxton probably doesn't have my size of a head, so
that's true.
But all in all, I mean, this was a 10 out of 10 ballpark to go visit. The food was awesome. The fans were incredible. Obviously, you saw my buddy was wearing Nats stuff, surrounded by Pirates fans. No one threw hot dogs at him or did anything egregious. We had some words with some of the people around us, but it was like playful sportsman banter. And I 100% would go again. This was a phenomenal experience. I can't recommend it enough. I mean, like, granted, my scope of reference for baseball stadiums is the Oriole Park at Camden Yards and the Rockies Stadium.
You've been pretty spoiled with your stadiums.
What about Nats Park?
I've never been in Nats Park.
You've never been in Nats Park?
Oh my God.
Never been in Nats Park.
Well, obviously, the Orioles Stadium is better than the Nats Stadium.
Yes, it is.
But
Nats Park is pretty good.
I would rather go to the Nats Park than I would Baltimore, just because I feel like for us it's easier to get to, and two, I felt like the experience of the game is better. Now, again, aesthetically, Camden Yards is hard to beat, but if there's any place that can beat it, it is PNC Park and also Oracle Park out in San Francisco.
I was going to say Camden Yards, Oracle, PNC, and probably Fenway are all just probably right there because, I mean, old
Wrigley. Let's not discount Wrigley.
Yeah, Wrigleyville. I guess you could put up there.
Love, and maybe this is just because Philly people feel like my people. I love Citizens Bank Park. I love that park. That's my favorite baseball stadium.
Scale the facade. You do not possess the core strength to scale that facade.
I'm thinking Ryan Howard and go on the field and kiss Ryan Howard. No, it's Chase Utley.
Yeah. He's a power hitting second baseman. You have any idea how rare that is? Yeah, I mean, I can't recommend it enough. This was, if you're ever in the area, go for a night game, go for a day game. Check the weather report before you go, because I'm glad we went when we did, because 2 days later, when Paul Skeens took the bump on his Cy Young bobblehead day, a fucking maelstrom of a tornado blew through. Did you see the videos of like the umbrellas blowing across the outfield stands? I mean, we're lucky no one got impaled. But yeah, I mean, check the weather report. But that was a 10 out of 10 experience. I don't think I'll ever forget it. Everything was phenomenal.
Very
phenomenal. Good. Yeah, that's my strike.
I like it. It's a good one. Kamala, hit the button again.
Oh, yeah, I'm on button duty. Sorry, I'm just reminiscing.
Two. Boy.
Well, going from a team with a low payroll that's doing pretty well to a team with the second highest payroll that sucks.
My $300 million.
It's time to meet the Mets, step right up and greet the Mets. Head of players scouting and development, George Costanza, seems to be there at this point.
Well, no, Mr. Wilhelm takes the position because
Mr.
George
Wilhelm
can't get fired.
yeah, correct. How was the meeting? There was no meeting, but I tell you, it was a hell of a meeting. This team sucks.
What is Mets short for? What does it stand for?
The Metropolitans.
No, my entire team sucks.
It's an acronym. That's incredible.
That was pretty good.
Nice one, Nick. Good pull. Clip that.
That's a good one. Yeah, I believe they're 7-15 in a dogfight with the Twins right now at home. I think Juan Soto has played 8 games so far this year. This lineup is just god awful. I mean, they had Jared Young batting third the other night. Jared Young batting third. Holy crap. 6 career home runs. By the way, Jared Young's not some young buck. He's 30 years old, which surprised. I was like, oh, it's probably some young guy trying to get some play. Nope, he's 30 years old. Their leader in home runs right now has 4. Their leader in RBI is 9. Let's see who's leading in average. Oh my God, it's like not even enough to like qualify. 254.
Hey, 240 ain't gonna cut in this town, pal.
OPS. Oh my gosh, it's just so bad. 837 is the leader. You pay a lot of money for Bo Bichette. He's been awful. Batting 219 with 1 home run and 9 ribbies. Marcus Semien. Like you look at the names on paper and you go, this team's pretty good. All right, Bo Bichette, Lindor, Marcus Semien, Luis Robert Jr., even Mark Ventos, and then Juan Soto. Juan Soto's barely played, like I said. There is no production numbers. The averages suck. The lineup is just god awful. There is literally
What's their
maybe
record right now?
They're 7-15 with the second highest payroll. Very not much behind the Dodgers, by the way.
How'd they ever win 7 games?
You're telling me.
It's a miracle.
It's a miracle. And Nolan McLean and Clay Holmes have been 2 bright spots. They are pitching very well. Clay Holmes has a 1.96 ERA. That's it. Everyone else is so bad and so awful. And Kamala has been sending me a bunch of these clips from this guy, even without the sound from this guy going, which is absolutely hilarious. Just watching the clips of Lindor making such horrendous mental mistakes, routine ground balls that he's waiting on, and Teoscar Hernandez beats out for an infield single.
Are we
not
able
covering
to play
second base, not
one?
going to second base on a ground ball to the second baseman, not knowing how many outs there are to turn 2 in the first inning. There's 3 batters, and he doesn't know how many outs there are. Getting picked off at first. All of these are mental mistakes.
They're
mental mistakes.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's effort. These are things that a $375 million shortstop should be doing in his sleep. And what bothers me too is that Lindor, for 10 plus years, has been one of the best fielding shortstops.
I don't
in the
think
league.
we would look at it as badly if they were winning, but the fact that these mental mistakes are occurring,
But that
at a time
contributes
where,
to
your team
losing.
is doing poorly and you suck so much. Do you not hate to lose?
It
What the
contributes
fuck
to
is going on?
That's the problem, is that they don't care.
Yeah.
It looks like they do not care. And you know what? After watching Juan Soto do the shit he's done the last 5 years, I'm glad his team sucks. And that I'm sure he's gonna come back here soon, and I'm sure he'll put up his 295 with 35 and 95 ribbies, and he'll have a great year, and at the end of the year he'll be top 10 in MVP voting or whatever it is, and be like, wow, that's pretty good. But they're not gonna win. They're not gonna do anything. When you have Lindor doing this shit, Bo Bichette, you overpaid. Pete Alonso couldn't get out of there fast enough.
Yeah. Welcome to
Pete Alonso, I believe, has
Alonso.
the home run, career home run record now for the Mets, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, I need to leave. That, it just is insane how bad the Mets are effort-wise, and how you have a $370 million payroll and suck this bad.
I mean, if they keep going on this trajectory, there has to be some sort of like front office repercussions here. It's so bad. Like
there will be, but
what is the excuse?
Well, because here's the issue, Conlon. If this were an isolated incident, you could say, okay, they tried.
Give them time.
It didn't work, but I mean,
or give them time. They'll be good second half or whatever. Like it's a long season.
I think that's much of what's drawing the ire too of the fans, right? It's not just we're not playing well right now. Well, it's that, and it's like this happened last year, and the year before, and the year before that, and the year before that, right? So they had that run to the
jaded and accepts it as the culture.
Well, they had that run, didn't they, to the National League Championship Series a couple years ago?
Yeah, hell, I mean, Pete Alonso, I think was it last year, hit like a walk off against Devin Williams.
Was that no? Devin
was that
Williams
last year or 2 years ago?
Because Williams was on the Yankees, but you know who Williams plays for now?
The Mets.
The Mets, yes. Williams went to the Yankees. He was the most dominant bullpen guy in the league for a couple years ago. The Yankees sucked on the Yankees.
Oh yeah, his ERA right now with the Mets. You want to take a guess?
7.56.
You're pretty close. It's 8.53.
My God.
8 games, 2 saves.
Well, because that's, again, this guy proved to the world he couldn't handle New York last year. So what did the Mets do? Let's just, we'll just come over to the other side of town. You can handle it here. Wrong. Right, and and that's the issue, right? You take away that NLCS run that they had, that Pete Alonso home run too on the low and away changeup that he belted out of former Miller Park.
Yeah.
Right? Awesome, right? This is the brightest spots you can get. But you take that away, and this is the same story out of Queens year after year is, we have all the money in the world. We're going to shake things up. They made a Steve Cohen tax, right? The Major League Baseball did to, like, oh, we can't have them spending this much. Now people are like, I don't give a shit. Why do you make that tax? That's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, let them spend more.
I mean, think about the couple years ago when they signed Scherzer and Verlander to $40 million a year deals and then traded both of them, right? Because they sucked that bad that it was like, well, this, because that's irresponsible spending, essentially, if you're not going to 100% know you're going to compete.
I need to know
right?
what the conversations are in the clubhouse, like in spring training, like what's going on to where it's like, is there any coaching being done? Is there any development being done? Is there, or do you like, because you're paying top dollar for all these guys, it's just, okay, well, they do what they want to do.
I think that's
I have a visual in my head, and in my head, it's after every game, it's Jeremy Giambi dancing on the table in Moneyball, and that's what I'm imagining is going on in the Mets clubhouse, just during, after, before practice, and losses.
I think I don't even think they speak to each other. I think they go have steak dinners and then whatever rich part of
we'll go
Queens
to
they're in.
We'll go to Hell's Kitchen or some shit.
Yeah, some like Michelin star restaurant that they go to, and and it'll be all individuals. So all be like, this is how I picture it. Lindor's over here.
Yeah. There's no
Chet's
glue guy.
In a different room. Juan Soto's over in a different restaurant. Like, that's how I see it. I feel like they don't talk to names.
We paid for these big names, but there's no glue.
I was going to say, it should be pointed out, right? You have names, but you also have chances that they took, right? They said, oh, we didn't win with the roster we had last year, so we get rid of these guys and bring new guys in, which is a valid thing to say.
It's hard in the off season
but at the same time, right? You paid all this money for Bo Bichette, but you went and switched his position, right? He's playing third, right? A position he's never played at the major league level, right? And a guy who, it wasn't like there was necessarily like a huge bidding war for him, right? You kind of were bidding against yourself to sign a guy to switch his position, which, to the layman, they go, oh, it's not that big of a deal. But as you know, boy, that's a big deal. I mean,
third base to shortstop is so different.
But switching
such a different position.
It's massively different. But just switching position in general, right? Remember Gleyber Torres before the Yankees took him from second and ruined him at shortstop. That's like, yes, he made the All-Star team last year, but his numbers still weren't that great, right? He was raking as a second baseman in his comfort zone, and they decided, it's just going on the other side of the bag. This is going to help our team and all this shit, right? He tanked and he's kind of revitalized, but he's still nowhere near what he was when he was playing second base full time before the Yankees did that, right? There's so many guys where things like that happen. Like, you can't just bank on, let's give all this money to a guy that we're going to say we're going to switch his position. And Luis Robert is another kind of similar situation here, where this is a guy who has all the upside in the world, but has underperformed in the last several years relative to his talent, and saying, oh, we think we'll get him back to this level. But what makes you think that's going to happen? Right? That's not you took a chance.
Correct.
It's not a guarantee, right? These are all kind of wild, let's just throw all the money we have because we have it. But if you don't have the processes in place to do it, like the Dodgers, this money is wasted. Marcus Semion's slightly different,
35.
but yeah, this is an aging second baseman who in his prime was arguably the best second baseman in the league, right? A guy who made the switch successfully from shortstop to second base, to do this, to sign that 1-year deal with Toronto, betting on himself, saying I'll switch here, and then parlay that into a successful run in Texas. But this guy's at the end, the backside of his career, right? So thinking that he's going to be the 100% answer, right? And then you don't go out and get a first baseman. You trade for Jorge Polanco, who I really like, and I'm sure you do as well, boy. A switch hitter, utility guy who has some pop, average, all these things. But essentially, you tried to slot him in as like your everyday first baseman. That's not a fix for
But
losing
he's
Pete
not
Alonso.
even listed as their first baseman on their
Correct.
roster. He's listed as their DH.
Yeah, right. So it's like you tried these things because you said, oh, it wasn't working, we didn't win. But then you didn't really fix anything. You took all these chances and just threw a shit ton of money at things. And that, I think, again, is where the Mets fan sits there and goes, what in God's name are we doing here? Like, this is...
It's another example of just negligence at the administrative front office level.
We've seen this show before. We've seen this from other organizations. We've seen it from our own goddamn organization under different ownership, too. Right? What is happening here? So I think that drives so much of the panic doom speak that you are seeing from Mets fans right now is it's like the Family Guy clip.
Oh, kick his ass. Sorry.
Here's the first pitch and the season is over, right? And Stewie throws his Mets hat, right? That's essentially what it feels like right now.
Correct. Yeah. It's hard to watch, man, because there was just that glimmer. There was that glimmer of hope that, wow, maybe we're going to start turning things around. Okay, we made it. We made a pretty deep playoff run. Okay, now we're starting to spend some money. This is what's going to push us over the edge. No, wrong. And it's just, again, I think it's a culture thing, and it's just the fact that there's no glue. There's no locker room guys. It's all,
which is crazy too, because they added Tommy Pham
divas and paid like divas, and frankly, some of them are playing like divas. And you got rid of guys that were. You let guys go that were pretty much the heart and soul of the team. Nimmo was so good on the Mets. Pete Alonso was so good on the Mets. Yes, and you just let him go.
I could see you letting McNeil going, because that's another guy who I would say is on the backside of his career, right? Like, you replaced him at second with Semien, right? Almost apples to apples, and yes, they're different players, but they're probably about the same age. But Nimmo, like you said, Kamala, that's a guy who you signed to a big deal, right? Knowing the value that guy adds to your organization team.
He could hit. He was so fast. He was stealing bags constantly.
Puts Nimmo great at-bats out of the leadoff spot. Incredible.
I believe the only player from Wyoming, Brandon Nimmo, right?
I
don't even know if his high school team had a. I don't think
they didn't have.
They selling people were selling. Nimmo was also bringing money into the club, in the sense that people wanted a branded Nimmo jersey.
Yeah, really, that's the one.
Instead, you have Jared Young batting third. Jared Young batting third. That was 6 career home runs.
Shout out Mike Dino.
That's where it becomes preposterous. Are we able to play it? I would love to play it.
I'll play one, sure. Which one do you want?
The Lindor one.
Yeah, you want the Lindor one?
I do want the Lindor one, because it encapsulates so much of what is wrong with the Mets organization, what's wrong with this team right now when your star player is doing this.
Yes.
So Lindor one is
this is the guy that we're referencing for those of you that are listening and have made it this far. Mike Dino _ on Instagram, Discord. He does a lot of really good sports commentary videos, and these are so fucking funny. I I apologize for the volume to you two. I'm going to edit it in post, so hopefully it's a little less eardrum blasting. But you could hear the frustration in his voice. This is what every Mets fan sounds like right now.
5 worst plays of the year. At number 5, I have Francisco Smile Lindor. You just gotta love the leader of your team smiling after a strikeout on an 8-game losing streak. At number 4, I have my $300 million shortstop having a picnic and letting Grandpa Teoscar Hernandez somehow get an infield single on the most routine ground out ever. At number 3, I have my $350 million shortstop running a 40-yard dash right into right field instead of covering second base. At number 2, I have my $375 million shortstop completely sleepwalking in a 0-0 game. And at number 1, it's the leader of my team, not knowing how many outs there are. 3 fucking batters in the game. How is this possible? So
But that encapsulates perfectly everything that we've talked about and everything that like it was the motivation behind Stevie wanting to bring this up is that it's a culture thing, it's a mentality
it's
thing.
hard
There's no dogs on this team.
I don't think I can remember really seeing that at the MLB level of how bad that was effort wise, because even the shitty teams like the White Sox, like even they at least play hard. Like there's guys on that team that are trying to be on MLB rosters, right? You're gonna try the Rockies. Like, yeah, these teams may suck, but you don't see effort plays like that are that bad. Like you see a lot of physical mistakes, and they're maybe not as talented, and there's disconnect, and maybe the style that they're playing or whatever it is isn't good. But
or they're
mental
making mistakes
errors
where it's like a physical. Yeah, like you said, oh, the shortstop airmails the first baseman.
Yeah. It happens, whatever. At the MLB level, maybe that guy doesn't stay at that level, right? But it happens.
But when you make $375 million and you don't know how many outs there are.
3 batters into the game.
Three batters into the game. In a world where we have clips and videos of players like Victor Robles telling the praying mantis on his hat how many outs there are.
This is his job as the shortstop.
Yes, you forget
it's his job. You literally
there are in the first fucking inning.
I guarantee you he's been playing shortstop for 25 years. And it's literally your job before
figure it out.
Every single pitch basically saying where we're going, how many outs there are, and where we're going. That's your job. At least before every batter. Or every at bat. Every at bat, you say, all right, we've got 1 out, man on first, plays the second or first.
Yeah.
Whatever
2
it
outs,
is.
closest bag.
Roll it, like 1 out, roll it. Get 1 if you need. Whatever it is. Like you are saying these things over and over and over again. You should, as the shortstop, you should never not know how many outs there are.
No.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. The communication between these players is probably dog shit.
Yeah.
I don't think they're talking to each other because that can't happen.
Check the runner, go to first.
I mean, you don't make mental errors like that in fucking Little League.
No.
Like, come on. So Mets fans,
some
brutal.
junior varsity bullshit.
I mean, my entire team sucks.
Yeah. Anyways, good strike, Stevie.
Yep.
Nick, are you ready? Anything else you want to add on the Mets before we move on?
Yeah, I got nothing else.
Okay. Just like everyone strike a smile like Francisco Smile Lindor and let's ring him up.
And he won't even challenge that ball in the dirt.
$350 million shortstop.
Smiling while striking out.
Missing strike. So my strike, I went with the RBC Heritage that took place at Harbortown in Hilton Head for the PGA Tour. It's the event that happens pretty much every year right after the Masters, and at times it's been listed as a signature event. I don't know if it was this year, but there have been multiple years where they've had this as a signature event because it's one of the bigger ones that they do, especially because, going from Augusta, Georgia to Hilton Head is not a very far trip for all these guys to make. Scotty Scheffler, he shot another bogey-free round on Sunday, posting a 67, including a scrambling par in the 72nd hole to force a playoff with Matt Fitzpatrick. After Fitzpatrick, who was the leader heading into 18, he bogeyed, and they were coming from a similar spot. Their approaches both landed far off the green, and they were basically chipping from the same spot. And Scotty went first, kind of giving the advantage of like, I'm going to, force you to make a good shot. And Fitzpatrick duffed his chip. It didn't make it over the ridge, and that's how he bogeyed, which sent the match into a playoff. And so they go back to 18 for the playoff, right? It was pretty amazing, I thought, for Fitzpatrick to recover mentally after that, because on the 18th, hit a great drive, and then hit an incredible approach shot to the green. And then Scotty pushed his...
Scotty, like, duffed it.
Yeah,
almost.
he tried to draw it in. He tried to draw it in, it looked like, and then just straight pushed it. And like I said, fat, didn't even make it there. And so Fitzpatrick easily made 3 on that, which Scotty had no shot there, which gave the Englishman his second career victory at the RBC Heritage. But I thought that was pretty incredible that you watched almost like the nerves get to him in the moment. And we're talking a matter of minutes afterwards. Never happened. And hits a phenomenal approach shot.
All it takes is one shot.
Yeah, right. And we talk a lot. I talked
especially after the drive. The drive on that, like, Scotty outdrove him by 30 yards or whatever. Like, Scotty hit the perfect drive, exact, because that wind was going nuts left to right, and it was pushing everything. The water wasn't in play at all because the wind was just going to take it. It was going to take it completely back to where the bunker is, and I think the fairway was 75 yards wide or something. And their drives were getting knocked down so much by the wind that these guys drive the ball 300 plus, and they were driving at 265 on that hole or something. And Scotty went perfect and dead center, exactly where he wanted to go, probably 20 yards past Fitzpatrick, who I think he ended up hitting his 245 or 250, and had to hit that long 4-iron to the green, into the wind, all of that, and just absolutely drilled it perfectly. And Scotty had, I think, a 7 or a 6,
just almost
and
fanned it.
Fanned it. So kind of wild.
No, yeah, I mean, again, it's. We talked. I said before about the championship pedigree, right? Why you could be surprised that the Penguins getting bullied in their first 2 games, because of that pedigree. We talk about Scotty and all the accolades and things that he's accomplished these last couple of years, and as amazing as they are, but we forget Fitzpatrick's. This is a Ryder Cup champion. This is a major champion who won outside of Boston the U.S. Open, right? There's some championship pedigree there, right? And so for him to be able to compartmentalize, right, a mistake that he made and just say, you know what, that it doesn't, fresh start, I'm gonna wipe the slate clean, and
we're gonna bury the hatchet.
Yes, extraordinarily impressive, especially when you're sitting there in the tee box with the world number 1 presumptive best golfer of this generation. So I wanted to highlight that because I really enjoyed watching that sequence, because it's one of those lessons that you can learn from sports without knowing anything about the sport. So
now, granted, I think we're seeing kind of a parallel in the PGA and the LPGA, where so we had that season where Scotty just ripped through 7 straight consecutive wins or something stupid like that, around the same time Nelly Korda did, and then Nelly went all year without a win in her next year. Well, this year kind of feels like that year for Scotty, where we're seeing a lot of different people win so far this year. Scotty's not playing bad, and granted, again, it is very early in the PGA season, but Scotty's not playing bad golf, but we're seeing a lot of other people kind of rise up.
Second.
Yeah.
In back-to-back events or whatever.
Yeah.
There is something that I thought about, because you always notice the comparables of the wins in this season compared to Tiger, especially in the majors, whatever, all the stuff he was doing the last year or so, of how unbelievable he was. But then it's not going to last as long, because Tiger was winning by 15 strokes against people. It wasn't even close.
Yeah.
It was absolutely
there wasn't a lot of drama in Tiger.
No, there wasn't any drama. He was just demolishing people.
Yes,
and it was, you're playing with Tiger on Sunday. Good luck, because the intimidation factor is real, and you're going to get...
You're cooked, as the kids say.
I think it was something like when you play with Tiger on Sunday, you shoot 3 shots worse than you usually do or something. It was something like absurd.
No, my favorite Tiger one is they looked at like it was like a 5 or 6 year stretch, and it was like scored a par in all the majors, and Tiger was like minus 120, and it was like the next closest person was Phil at like plus
99. It was
something.
plus 99. I just saw that stat.
Like several hundred strokes between Tiger and the next closest person.
That's the difference.
Who's a Hall of Famer too.
Yes.
Right. That's the difference between like Tiger doing stuff, and then when you start comparing, what other people do, there's always ways to like compare success stories, but no one will ever be what Tiger was, because the game itself, no matter how like great you are, like everyone has caught up, right?
Yeah.
There's so much better golf now. Guys are training their bodies differently, right? Tiger was the only one.
Of Tiger.
Yeah, exactly. Correct. That is literally because of Tiger. Tiger was the only one lifting weights. Like everyone was John Daly out there, right?
Hey.
Sorry, not everyone was John Daly, but
love John Daly.
But that was and that was hitting a 280-yard 3-wood was
fat
like
ass.
Amazing. The technology now, the training, all of it's like so different.
Yes,
everyone is caught up. So like Scotty won a ton, but it's not like they were he was winning by 10 strokes.
The field was close.
Your margin of error is a lot tighter.
He was
Scotty with these slow starts,
and others weren't able to.
Right, and there's slow starts that Scotty has had, like because he's had back-to-back weeks where the Saturday he's gone nuts, right, and gotten right back up there, and you're like, holy shit, there's Scotty again. Like it's almost inevitable he's going to be up there, but it's not inevitable that he's going to win. Right, with Tiger if Tiger's name is within like earshot of that leaderboard, he's going to win on Sunday. So it's a little different, but that's kind of where it like you're starting. You can see how unbelievable like dominant Tiger was compared to like the margin of error that Scotty has to deal with. But still, Scotty's the world number one and still unbelievable. But great for Matt Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, that was a good one for him. Anything else before we move on to our favorites segment?
Yeah, real quick. Back to hockey for a second. The wheels have come off the bus in Buffalo.
I'm looking over him like in the corner.
There's 5 people in each penalty box right now.
This is Nick Vesey playing NHL 09 while getting his ass kicked, and then decided, well, I'm just gonna fight everybody. That's what's happening.
Triangle button, kids. Mash the triangle button. That instigates the fight.
Yeah, Buffalo's down 4-0 in the third, and he's just trying to fight everyone.
Because it's the Sabres.
This game is over. Yeah, this is the Sabres.
The Sabres aren't equal to the Bruins right now. And then one more thing. Shout out to a viewer in the Twitch chat right now. Shout out McLovin for telling us that we all look like we would be coaches. I appreciate that. We are all former athletes in our who just like sports. Thank you.
I am a current coach.
That's true. Yes.
And
Nick,
I do have
coach
over
Vesey.
a decade of previous coaching experience as well.
Okay, yeah, all right. Well, if we're breaking our resumes out, sure, good job. You win.
Do you want to see?
No, it's
I'll
fine.
bring it up. Okay.
Got it under glass on the wall behind me.
Yep. Live.
Yeah. Thanks for being here, McLovin. Appreciate you. Anyways, go ahead, Nick. Let's go ahead. Let's get on to our favorites.
Thank you, Kamala. So, moving on to our favorites segment, brought to you as always by One Legacy Title and Escrow in Jacksonville, Florida. Follow them on Instagram at One Legacy Florida, all one word, and visit them at onelegacyflorida.com, same thing, all one word, to see how they can help you with your next house closing. One Legacy Title and Escrow, because your legacy matters. This week we went animated shows of all time.
Heck yeah.
That was the criteria. Who would like to go first?
I'll go. So I'd imagine my list is going to be slightly different from the two of you, just because I am into kind of like mainstream animes, so I did include some animes in here.
Like
honorable mention. I went with a Netflix original. I went with BoJack Horseman. I love BoJack Horseman because I think my years in the correctional officer has just made my humor just so dark, and that is a very dark humor show. So if you ever get a chance, watch BoJack Horseman. BoJack, the lead character, is voiced by Will Arnett. Love Will Arnett. Yeah, great show, hilarious, very dark though. So kind of prepare yourself to go on that ride.
Back in the 90s.
Yeah. Number
Very
5.
famous TV show.
Number 5. I went with King of the Hill. Give me King of the Hill in the 5 spot. I don't mind the reboot. The reboot is very good. I think they did it justice, but OG King of the Hill, where the animation was just so grainy. They had no problem worrying about cancel culture because it didn't exist back then. So they leaned very hard into, we're just gonna shit on liberals. We're gonna stereotype our Laotian neighbor. It's very, very funny. King of the Hill is an awesome one. Number 4. I went with Bob's Burgers. I know that H. John Benjamin kind of splits his fandom into 2 people.
Yes,
I don't
he does.
particularly know anyone that is a fan of both Bob's Burgers and Archer equally. People typically have a preference, and I think it comes down to
Correct.
what you watch first, right? Because if you watch
Yes.
Archer first, like Stevie, you can't watch Bob's Burgers because all you hear is Archer when Bob talks.
I put on Bob's Burgers as like a background, not pay attention. Like every now and then you go, oh, okay, that was kind of good. Archer, like, yeah, it's what you're saying. You can't watch Archer first and then go to Bob's Burgers.
No, it's one or the
It's
other.
impossible.
It's one or the other. And I'm a Bob's
I
Burger
tolerate
person.
Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
My wife is a huge Bob's Burgers fan, and that's a really good one. No shade against Archer. It's just I've watched Bob's Burgers for a lot longer and a lot more consistently. Number 3, give me Family Guy. I went with Family Guy in the 3 spot. That was a tough one because Family Guy I just think has been around for so long and has been so consistent for so long. But yeah, the Family Guy is just a classic. Number 2, give me Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z is a show that's just been around forever. If you ask anyone that's an anime fan, they'll tell you that Dragon Ball's up there on the Mount Rushmore of animes. It's so good. It's just been around for so long. So yeah, I mean, give me Dragon Ball Z. I love it. In all the different adaptations and spinoffs. Yeah, that's actually so in my road to the show on 26, you can add like a on base celebration. And so, I made my character my wife. And so every time she gets on base, that's her celebration. So it doesn't matter if it's a single or a triple. She's on base, just at the dugout. It's so funny. And then number one is I went with South Park. I went with South Park in the 1 spot. And I like South Park there because the way that they go through making the episodes, right? They go through Trey Parker and Matt Stone go through exhaustive efforts to make sure that their show has the most recent and relevant humors and like catchphrases and stuff, because they make each episode in the span of 7 days. So from the time you're watching the new episode air on Comedy Central or whatever, they are already making the next episode. So everything from like episode concept and plot to the animations to the recordings, everything is done within 7 days. And I really think that just the relevancy of that show is so funny. And that's another show that's just been around forever. I love everything about it. South Park is so good. Give me South Park in the 1 spot. That's my list. Excuse me. I will hang up and listen.
Boy.
All right. I have a number 1 and a large gap, and then everyone else. So we're gonna start with everyone else here. I got a couple honorable mentions. I'm gonna go with the Ultimate Spider-Man series from 2012, which Drake Bell is the voice of Spider-Man. That was like right when all the live action like Marvel movies like culminated with the Avengers, and then Ultimate Spider-Man started, and they had like all your like smaller characters like Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Nova,
Yeah.
White Tiger, like all with him, and like Nick Fury would come in and like give him missions and all that stuff, and he had like the Iron Spider suit, and it was like almost previewing what was going to happen the next like 10 years. It was kind of cool. It was like getting to know like those characters, and it was a really well done series. And Drake Bell as Peter Parker was fantastic. Moving on, my next honorable mention, Fairly Odd Parents.
Good show.
That was such a classic. As a kid, Fairly Odd Parents was so good.
It really
The
was.
Escalator Land
Yes.
might
This
be
is
my
the
favorite.
ride.
When do we get to the ride? This is the ride.
Oh, they had Mayor Adam West at the same time as Family Guy did, didn't they?
I believe
I think so.
Playing the same character.
that was
Doug
also
Dimmadome.
Yeah, I was about to say that was also Doug Dimmadome, owner and operator of the Dimsdale Dimmadome.
That's a great series, and
Yeah.
I'm like excited. I'm excited for my kids to end up getting to that age
Are they
where you can
doing?
watch those.
Mhm.
Maybe I dreamt this, but are they doing like a live action Fairly Odd Parents? Is that happening?
That
I
sounds
hope
like a
not.
fever dream.
Maybe I
it
had
sounds
like
like
a weird
on LSD.
I'm efforting. I'll look this up.
nostalgia.
I'll get down into the doldrums here. I'll find
Yeah.
out.
Moving on, number 5, SpongeBob SquarePants. The amount of stuff that we were able to like pull from SpongeBob is pretty insane. Those like first few seasons, the bubble bowl might be like the greatest episode ever. That's in SpongeBob history. The rock bottom or whatever, where they start talking like that. God, I
Yeah.
love those.
Yeah.
That's such a good show. It's another one that I'm excited to rewatch. Number 4, Family Guy. I mean, the amount of clips that you can pull from Family Guy that are just so out of nowhere that we'll just send each other are so good. And my next one, the 1999 Pokemon series.
Actually,
That was awesome.
It was. I watched because my oldest son Luca is. I mean, now he's into other stuff, but obviously, he goes through all these different things as he's 3 years old. But for several weeks there, into Pokemon, and so I showed him that, and he had just so many questions. And like, because he would go in the backyard and pretend like rocks were Pokeballs, and you just throw them into the yard, and I was like, okay, this is great.
Or dangerous.
Yes, but hilarious at the same time because he was so into it. So I showed him that, and he loved it. Like for the first couple episodes, but he still was like not there yet. And watched the they remade that first movie. Remember the original movie?
I don't know why. If
They
you
just, like,
watch the
changed the
original movie,
animation
it's
or
so
whatever.
good. Yeah, I don't know why they changed the animation.
But
But-
yeah, so watch the end of that, and I was like, this is sweet. This
Yes,
is good.
the 99 series culminating in that 2000 movie with Mewtwo is so good.
Man, the
When that
Mewtwo
came-
movie was insane.
Yeah. And that like I mean all the entire journey of the 99 series goes to that movie. So that was awesome. I love that. They brought that back to Netflix like in like 2015 or so 2016 or something. I remember being like in college, be like, wait, hold on, this thing's on Netflix. I like ripped through it. It was awesome. Moving on. My number 2, we talked about this one a little bit before, Archer. Again, you can't be it's hard. You have a preference of Archer or Bob's Burgers. The first like 5 seasons of Archer are so good. The
Yeah.
jokes are really smart. That is a well written and smart show that gets a little raunchy. I think that's what turns people off of it a little bit, but that show is awesome. The Danger Zone jokes. I mean, you got me the Archer
The Danger
Top
Zone
Gun
IPA.
Danger Zone IPA a couple years ago. And I'll
Do we
just
still see it around? We still see
just
it around.
screaming Lana like every time I saw that in my
Lana!
fridge.
So help me
Danger
God,
Zone!
Lana, I will hire Kenny Loggins to play an acoustic set right here.
That's such I love that. And just like H. John Benjamin, I you know what I like about that is that like in
He's got
Bob's
a
Burgers,
band.
he kind of looks like Bob. Like H. John Benjamin
Mhm.
like kind of fits that. But in
Yes.
Archer, it's so different. And the voice it just makes it so damn funny. So Archer in the 2, and then there's my large gap, and number 1 is The Simpsons. It's not even close.
Yeah, I had a feeling that would be your number
Seasons 3 through 12, 3 through 13 are so unbelievable. Like, just go rewatch those episodes. I'm literally just like every night I'll just watch one of those before bed.
one. And
It's so good.
everyone is aware of just the heat coming out of the Simpsons camp. I put the Talkin' Softball song on our Going to Pittsburgh playlist, and my buddy's wife heard it and she was like, "This isn't Talkin' Baseball." And after like the first verse, she went, "Is this Talkin' Softball from The Simpsons?" And I went, "Absolutely." She goes, "Where Lisa makes Daryl Strawberry cry?" I said, "Yup."
Daryl!
He's a professional athlete. He can take it.
Rolls right off of him. You're Daryl Strawberry.
Yeah,
You play right field. Yeah. I play right field.
Is unprecedented.
So, are you better than me? Well, I've never met you, but
yeah.
yeah. Wait, was it Don Mattingly? I told you to get rid of those sideburns. You're off the team. Still keeps playing for Steinbrenner.
Yes, I
Jose
actually just
Canseco is in that episode.
Who?
Jose Canseco.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just rewatched that episode over the weekend
That's
just
so
because. Yeah.
You know, an episode too that you need to rewatch because it's hockey season is Lisa on Ice.
Yeah.
That's a yeah. Ralph Wiggum lost his shin guard. Hack the bone. Well, I am the tiger, mouth of a teamster. And to think all the time I wasted on you.
Yes.
So good. Yeah, good list.
That is a
Stevie.
great episode. I like it. All right, so I do have a couple honorable mentions, just like you guys.
We had one.
Boy, I had two.
I
Okay,
had two.
So you're gonna have three.
I should
Maybe
have,
4.
just for
It's not
that.
5.
I was gonna do a top 10.
He's
Fuck
going
you
to make an
guys.
entire roster.
Yeah.
Nick's regressing.
Yep.
regressing.
Let me go back and no. BoJack Horseman, one of my honorable mentions.
Whoa!
Great show. Will Arnett is fantastic.
Aren't you the horse from horsing around?
Great show. BoJack is. And my other honorable mention is Scooby Doo and all the different iterations. Scooby Doo's a great show. I liked that when I was younger. Watching it older, still great. Right, all of that. Not sure I care that much for the movies, but the show is awesome.
Movies weren't bad, but they got nothing on the cartoon. You're right,
because it's all different. Like again, way different iterations. They change it up all the time. The one constant is Casey Kasem as the voice of Shaggy. The original voice of Shaggy is Casey Kasem.
Casey
I did not
Kasem.
know that.
Yes.
Wow. All
And
of a sudden,
voiced
I'm remembering
him-
Sunday drives to church.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what I was going to
Kasem.
say. Yep, the
Yes.
Sunday, the top 100 or whatever it is.
Top 40?
Top 40.
Sounds like you're going through a rough time, writer. I hope things get better for you. I'm Casey Kasem.
Yes. That's pretty good. It's
Thank
not
you.
bad. Not bad. Not great. I don't want you to get a bigger head than you already have, but not bad. But yes, Casey Kasem, voice of Shaggy. I think there was a section there where Matthew Lillard voiced Shaggy because Matthew Lillard played him in that like live adaptation movie that they did. But I mean, for like almost 50 years, over 40 years, it was Casey Kasem. So Scooby-Doo, awesome. Number 5 is Archer. Like you said, boy, it's a very smartly written show. The first several seasons, even the end of it, still smartly written. But
The what's her name from Arrested Development?
rest in peace, Julie Walters.
Yes, she's so good.
Yes, she is.
She makes that show so funny. So yeah, she plays like her. I love that they made it look exactly like her, and she basically like plays her like almost the exact same role as Arrested Development. It's so good.
Well, I mean, another thing too, I always found it fun, like Christian Slater on there.
Yes,
hilarious. There were several people that like they voiced the character on the show, and the character looked like them, which I thought was hilarious as well.
Yeah.
Number 4, surprise, doesn't make anyone's list, but Hey Arnold. Hey
Arnold!
I looked at it.
Incredible show.
I knew that was your show.
Oh, that show is so good. It is so good. Love Hey Arnold. Phenomenal. Number 3 is SpongeBob.
Yeah.
The only one that could usurp Hey Arnold as the top Nickelodeon kids show is SpongeBob. SpongeBob transcends so many things. Like you said, boy, you could watch SpongeBob as an adult and still laugh your ass off at some of the things that are happening there. That's an incredibly rare thing to be able to do. Because even Hey Arnold, right? Hey Arnold's great because of like the storylines and all the different things, and like the lessons and things like that. Those are great, right? And it's enjoyable. But you know, it'll look different to you as an adult. But watching SpongeBob, you're almost like immediately transformed back into your younger state. And it doesn't matter what lens you view the show from. Some of the things that they do on that show, most of them are just objectively funny.
Yes.
Right. And that's incredible, right? The voice of Patrick Starr. Do you know who he is, Amlo?
Yes, he's I know who he is.
Boy.
Yeah, that's Marshall's dad
Yes.
from How I Met Your Mother.
Yes, it is.
Erickson!
Just want to bring that up.
Kept screaming, Cox, Cox, Cox.
Number 2 for me is The Simpsons. Right, like the boy said, there's a lot of seasons there earlier on. You know, yes, there's a lot of seasons in general, but you could really throw away almost like 20 of them, which is insane that they were able to create 20 seasons you could just throw away. That in and of itself deserves recognition that they were able to produce that. But there's a section there that like is so unbelievably well done.
Yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8 are like every single episode is
It's a
so
banger.
good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which for many shows, live action or animated, that's kind of like that sweet spot where you figure things out right there. So, but The Simpsons, man, it, in a lot of ways is up there on the, best shows ever, regardless of animation, because of the longevity and all the things that it's done, right? It's pretty incredible what they've accomplished there. But yeah, so those earlier to mid-level seasons, phenomenal. And number one for me is Family Guy. And I'll tell you why. Because for them to be able to essentially copy The Simpsons, but to stay relevant for as long as they have and to do the things that they've done on that show and to keep doing them, that to me is insane.
Yeah.
Because The Simpsons, right, they're the copy. Like, they're not the OG.
I mean, literally, he says a joke here, like, we took a lot for, we say we didn't take from The Simpsons, but we took a lot from The Simpsons.
Yeah, when he's laying in bed wasted, it's there. Yes, it's different, obviously, in a lot of ways, right? You got talking fucking dog and the cutaways and all these things, but in a lot of other ways, it's very similar. Like the lower middle class family living in the house, going through shenanigans, like that's very, very similar.
I mean, the
right?
Simpsons are the Beatles. The Simpsons are the Beatles, and they've inspired every adult animation show that has come after it. I mean, on some level, The Simpsons has influence. They're the Sopranos, right? If The Simpsons don't exist and do it, no one's going to be able to do it.
Correct. I mean, there's literally an episode of South Park where it's called The Simpsons Did It.
Yes.
And that's one of the earlier seasons of South Park. I think maybe the first 5 seasons of South Park or whatever, and they're literally going through a list of things that, like, I think Butters is trying to do something. He goes, who is it? Scott Malkinson's realized, like, The Simpsons did it. The Simpsons did it.
Simpsons did it.
Episode whatever, like season 5, episode 3, Simpsons did it.
I'm Scott Malkinson and I have diabetes.
But yeah, like at least for me, for Family Guy to be able to do what they've done and like make you laugh so hard, so not just be a good show, but to cross certain lines and get there, like almost like mix yourself with South Park and The Simpsons and be successful for as long as they've been canceled, I think twice, and come back from it. Right? It is that, to me, that's what puts it over the edge. That's an incredible achievement to be able to do that. Like that yes, almost no one survives that. No one's able to do those things and still make it relevant. And so that's why I have Family Guy as my number one. Peter, just because you have a mustache doesn't mean you can speak Italian. Che cosa?
Screw you, McBurger Town.
Tu sei un pazzo.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah.
Anything else before we
I just watched the porthole. Shut up, porthole. That was on. That was on before we started.
Porthole. It's a good one.
I get it.
Yeah.
I said pirate again, but I said pirate like.
I didn't catch that one. I said shoot it again, but I said it pirate like.
All right, so that's going to bring us to what to look for. Brought to you as always by VB Cookie Co. Looking for the perfect way to stand out at the next event you are hosting? Well, custom cookies are a timeless way to have everyone still buzzing even after they leave. Look no further for your cookie needs than VB Cookie Co. Follow them on Instagram at VB Cookie Co, all one word, and message them to order yours today. Whether it is a bridal shower, birthday, engagement, or baby shower, their team will work with you to make all your cookie dreams come true. VB Cookie Co. for the sweetest moments. Boy, give the people something to look for.
Thursday starts the NFL draft. I always love the NFL draft, and it's in Pittsburgh, by the way. Kamlo.
Yeah, I'm not big on the draft. To me, the NFL draft is like akin to New Year's Eve. It's just a big non-event for me.
I like the NFL draft.
Which teams are gonna draft a quarterback or a wide receiver or a running back and just ruin them?
That's the beauty of it. The beauty is to watch what the Jets do, because the Jets and Mets are so bad.
Who are that's the puzzle. Who are the Jets and the Browns going to ruin next?
Yeah.
Or, who are they going to reach on?
Not a big draft guy.
Dude, that's such a cynical way to look at it.
I've also never understood the hype of sitting around and watching the first round or the first 2 rounds of the draft. Like I'll read about it in way less time the next day.
Well,
I also didn't play football growing up. You guys were football players, so it means more to the football community, I'm sure. But for me, not so much.
I mean, it's life changing for a lot of these guys. I like getting the stories of the players that are coming in, how they fit in their teams, like who reached on who, whatever, all these different things. I mean, to me, day 2 of the draft, or day 2, day 3
is the best.
Are the best days
because it's just highlights.
Yeah,
They just rip
those are
through
the best
highlights
days
of guys, and
awesome. those are the guys that make your team. Like those are who you build your team on.
Time
like
for Mel
you
Kiper
have
to
your
earn his
first
paychecks.
rounders, your stars or whatever. It's those mid-round picks is how you win championships.
Hey, don't forget NFL draft expert Todd McShay. Remember where he went to school?
He's got spider fever.
You're goddamn right he does. University of Richmond.
Come on, Spiders.
Also, you can revisit our Tony Pauline episode if you want to, because I started listening back to it and the stuff that
good callback, Stevie. Way to promote.
He was throwing.
Way to promote,
I did just post one on YouTube about because we asked him like, oh, number 1 pick, like 4-guy conclusion, Fernando Mendoza. He's like, yeah, it's Fernando Mendoza. Here's why. Kubiak like coming into Vegas like with him, like this is gonna be perfect. He goes, also there's a huge cliff after Fernando Mendoza between like him and the next quarterback, Ty Simpson. And I love that like immediately after our interview with him, that's why I posted like Dan Orlovsky's like trying to push for Ty Simpson. It's like we just had like our NFL draft expert who does this like year round. Like this is his job is to do this, and he's like, "There's a cliff."
Meanwhile,
and then I finally saw someone else go. There's Fernando Mendoza, large gap, Ty Simpson. I forget who else. We're like right there. Is like,
exactly.
Yes, thank you. That's how it's going to be. So
yeah,
go watch that episode back.
I think Tony is part of telecast.
He's got live coverage.
Yeah, for Essentially Sports, I believe.
That's what
which
I'm
is
talking about.
Pretty cool.
Shout out Tony. Friend of the show. It's playoffs. It's NHL playoffs. I don't care about the NBA. Half the league is in the playoffs right now for the NBA. So wait around before you get invested in the NBA playoffs. But, gear up with a bottle of beer and maybe some wings and watch some NHL playoffs. It's the best. I mean, we have absolute chaos in Buffalo right now. The Pittsburgh and Philly series, you have big rivalry there. We're getting way more combined shots in any given period.
Montreal and Tampa's in OT right now.
Montreal and Tampa going into OT right now. Buffalo making a late third surge with an empty net. I mean, the storylines are endless, and I'm just a hockey guy down to my core. So this is phenomenal to be able to come home from work, make some dinner, and just post up on the couch or here with you degenerates and have the playoffs playing while we do a podcast. So the coming week, it's NHL playoffs or bust. Next.
Very good. I got a couple things for us. Men's lacrosse, college-wise, Michigan at Ohio State. That old chestnut. Ohio State's good. Michigan's not. But, again, you never know. You also have Duke at UNC. Duke, I think, is number 16. UNC, I think, has fallen to number 3. All in number 3 because they were number 1. But the 2 bigger games for me, number 10, Harvard at number 6, Cornell. Ever heard of it? And then number 5, Syracuse travels to number 1, Notre Dame. That is the game of the week. Syracuse, Joey Spallina just became the all-time Q scoring leader, which is amazing because he passed Mikey Powell, Mr. Lacrosse. So that you have that happening. Syracuse is playing well right now, obviously number 5 in the country, but you could argue they're playing some of their best ball right now. And again, Notre Dame, I mean, the most consistent team. The fact that UVA was able to beat them is more astonishing by the day. I know UVA did have a fierce comeback and then scored the buzzer and lost an OT to UNC. But still, UVA's been, kind of that inconsistent team this year. So for them to take them from Notre Dame when Notre Dame has gone out and just, pounded everyone, really.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The best defense in the country. So this will be an interesting matchup to see are they going to pound another stalwart? And number 5, Syracuse. I think Syracuse is 11-3, right? Number 5, Syracuse. What's going to happen here, right? Because this could be telling for both teams. I believe this is last regular season games, or at least last regular season ACC games before you get to conference games. I don't think the ACC plays a conference tourney, but I know the MAAC starts, I think, on Sunday or Monday, which the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference and the Siena Saints are the number 1 seed. They won the regular season title in the MAAC. So you have all those storylines happening there in Lax land. And then NASCAR is in Talladega this weekend. One of the better races, fun race.
Let's go Tyler Reddick.
I want to say it's like the fastest they get to, I thought was at Talladega. I could be wrong. Someone will have to fact check me on that. But yes, NASCAR Talladega. Tyler Reddick just had his 5th win last weekend, so we'll see if he can make it 6, which is just bonkers insane. Unreal, right? So those are my couple random things there for us. Anything else before we wrap this up?
Yeah, shout out to McLovin. Shout out to McLovin, active in the chat. He said that in the order that we are in, we look like the Dollar Shave Club tier list. So McLovin, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching and engaging with us. Fun to have you. Hope we see you again next week.
Shave.
But that's all I got.
Who shaves?
Not
All right,
me.
that's going to do it for us here at What Caught My Eye, or WCME Sports. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social media. That's on X, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, Snapchat, and Threads at WCME_sports. Our episodes drop every Wednesday at noon on Spotify, YouTube, and iHeartRadio. And all that information can be found on our website at WCME Sports. Don't forget to check out the NBA playoff preview episode featuring the great Doug Howard. That's also available on Spotify, YouTube, and iHeartRadio. For the boy Stephen Vesci and the man Stephen Comlo, I am the coach Nick Vesci, reminding you to be decent to each other. Have a good one, and we will see you next time. Take care, Guatemala.